Says she doesn't want to be with a man that makes less than $100,000 a year, and people went crazy. Do you understand that though you think $100,000 is a big amount, a lot of people don't? Men are saying, well, that isn't realistic. Yes, it is. You can make more money. If you don't want to be with a bigger woman, she could lose weight. People adapt. What's finances have to do with love? Finances have a lot to do with love. Finances are one of the top reasons people get divorced, and love don't pay bills. Some people don't live within the same means that you do. Just because you think it's luxury, that might be regular to somebody else. It should not be controversial to say that $100,000 a year is not a lot of money. If it's a lot to you, then that's okay. But if it's not to somebody else, then it's not a lot of money.
And this is why people like yourself with that mindset is going to stay single. The average black man in America make 42,000. 60% of black men in America make over 100,000 or even higher. So you're going to compete for 16% or try to get the majority. And men can make money anytime they want to, but they don't want a gold digger.
Says she doesn't want to be with him.
I'm only gonna say it cause she said it. I'm only gonna say it cause she said it. All right. Baby girl said, if you don't like dating big women, she can lose weight. People can adapt. What I'm learning as a man is if you don't want to be with a big woman or a big woman, sorry, you just change who you dating. You just go with somebody who's a little bit slimmer. And when the reality sets in, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. $100,000. At the rate the economy is going, $100,000 technically is not a lot of money. But for a young lady to say that she doesn't want to date somebody who's not clearing $100,000 a year, basically what she's saying is she's wanting somebody who's high value. Now, like my man said, I don't know if his statistics are accurate. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that it is. He says that only 16% of black men, I believe, only clear 100,000 or more a year. So she's competing with 16%. What are her odds? Close to slim to none, right? Because when we talk about guys who clear 100K a year, likely you're talking about guys who have high value status, right? And I'll say it time and time again. Most guys who clear that type of money are probably not looking for women like her or the woman who made that particular statement, right? So she can go out and defend it. She can go out and say, yeah, it's a little money, depending on who you ask. It might be a lot to some. It might be no money to somebody else. And that's true because I've heard some of my favorite YouTubers speak on it. One being Anton Daniels and another one being, what was it? It was my boy DJ Academics. I remember now. Granted, when we talk about these particular individuals, these people have made themselves decent money throughout their lives and their careers, and they probably do represent the top 1% or in at least the top 10% of earners in the world, probably more specifically earners in our community. So I get it. There are a lot of guys that'll tell you, yo, man, that's not a lot of money. But again, like I say, it depends on who you are, where you live, how you spend. It's always going to be your three variables: who you are, where you live, how you spend, right? If you're a big spender or you're the type of guy who really clears that type of money, you know, you can afford the nice things and you could do this and you could do that. Like I said, 100,000 ain't gonna be nothing to you, right? But if a lot of guys, like I said, there ain't a lot of guys out there clearing 100 grand. If that's the case, guess what? We adjust accordingly, right? That's the beautiful thing about us being men. If you're a responsible guy, you take care of yourself, you know what you need to take care of, we adjust accordingly, right? Because you can't have the expectation that every guy's going to clear 100K. Now, I don't believe in complacency, so I'm not just going to sit there and say, oh, you don't make 100K a year, oh, well, accepted. Nah, we're not doing that over here. You got to try your best to level up, or at least make the best that you can, given your current situation, circumstances, whatever it may be. You got to do the best that you can to level up, right? But me, I've learned and I've seen, and I'll say it again: if you can clear that type of money and you can live abroad, you'll always do better. You will always do better than you will in the Western world, right? Because I've learned that you can sit there and you can complain about everything that goes on in the West, but if you don't like it, the East and places like it are always open, right? So if your salary cap or the money that you're bringing in doesn't meet the 100K requirement that this woman is technically looking for, hey man, abroad offers opportunities where that money can go longer, right? I don't want you to look at moving abroad as a complacent move. This is just in case you felt like you can't earn more, or stop, back up. Not that you feel that you can't earn more, but if you've gotten to the point in your life where you tapped out or you maxed out or whatever it may be, knowing you should always level up. If you feel like you've made what you can make and you're going to clear it and you feel comfortable with the money that you made, whatever little annual money you bring in, if you're comfortable with it through investments or whatever, it don't matter how much it is. I do believe that you'll find comfort in living abroad, right? You don't have to deal with women talking down to you or shitting on you because you don't make $100,000 a year, right? You don't have to deal with that shit. And that's why brothers are going abroad, man. I mean, I do think to an extent it is a ridiculous high standard for most women to sit there and talk to a man and say, yo, if you ain't clearing 100K, I don't want to talk to you. Because again, to an extent, it is unrealistic for most women to think that they're going to get a guy that is a high value 6-figure earner, right? If we're being realistic, right? Because this is what we are. We're rooted in reality. We live in reality, right? And right now, the reality is, like my man says, that a high percentage of men don't really clear $50,000 a year right now, right? The number for black men, like he said, I think it was 40+%, or 60%, only making around $42,000 a year. If that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking at the young lady in the video, and I'm thinking to myself, is this the type of girl that somebody who's clearing 6 figures is gonna go for? Probably not, right? Probably not. So in that regard, if she wants to continue aiming high, shooting up, and praying for a 6-figure guy, well, all the guys that are out here in the game, if she wants to let herself age out of the majority, of women in her available status, and being a woman that somebody might take in a certain amount of age range, if she want to age out waiting for somebody who clears $100,000 a year, I'd rather just let her sit on the sideline and wait. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you don't look like you're missing anything. You really don't look like you're missing anything. You know how I am about ladies' attitudes, man. I gotta call a spade, and that shit is aggressive. I'm not really a fan of the aggressiveness, baby girl. I'm not that type of guy. All right. So if you don't feel comfortable dating a guy that makes less than $100,000 a year, hey man, I can't help you there. Can't help you. And a lot of men will likely say, you know what? Even if I did clear $100,000 a year, I would not want to trade in my time, effort, and resources on you, boo. And that's the reality. A lot of guys wouldn't even waste their time. So all the girls out here talk about, yo, man, if you ain't clearing X amount of money a year, don't come holler at me, don't come talk to me. Chances are they're talking themselves out of a lot of men, period. They're talking themselves out of the majority of men. So if you want to sit there and try to play, and like most women do, it's the truth, right? What is the, let me get this right real quick. They say that 80% of women compete for roughly about 20% of the population of men. Something to that effect. I know I'm probably saying that all messed up. And comment section below if you know that particular saying, but it says that about 80% of women are only competing for about 20% of all men. Based on, like I said, earning, income, personality, charisma, whatever it may be, that is making these guys attractive. A lot of these women, 80%, a large majority of them are competing for only the small amount of the available men in the world. So if they want to compete, let them compete. I do believe, man, that you got to put yourself in a position to be the ones that they're competing for. Like I said, I'm going to call a spade, truth. But that don't necessarily have to constitute you clearing $100,000 a year. Not necessarily. Like I said, I'd rather go abroad. I don't know about y'all. That's just me. But y'all let me know in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to hear what you guys got to say about that one. Y'all know what time it is, man. Time for the good night to go and get to getting. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.